Mansfield, something like that.
That clock's right. Okay. Call the meeting to order. Everyone please rise for the invocation or remain standing for the pledge of allegiance.
Dear God, we come to you today, Lord, asking for wisdom to conduct our city's business that gives you all the honor and the glory. Help us make us wise tonight, Lord, in our decisions. In your name I pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call the roll, please, Ms. Doherty.
Gillum,
Here.
Bunch,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Phillips. Here. Templin.
Here. Okay, we have approval of the October 19th City Council meeting minutes. Do I have any discussion on last month's minutes? If not, do I have a motion to approve the minutes as written?
Make the motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Doherty, will you call the roll, please?
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green, Phillips. Templin.
Aye. Recognize citizens, guests, and visitors. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. Do I have anybody that needs to bring anything before the board? Okay. Well, if not, move on to the mayor's report. And this should have been done last month. Boomer died like the day before the board meeting, Boomer Winfrey. About 10 libraries burnt down last month with Boomer. This town lost a valuable asset, and I don't think there's anyone that even can remotely meet the needs of someone with that sort of knowledge of our community and the history of this community. I think the town needs to do something. We'll probably need to talk about this in the future, but some way to recognize the contributions Boomer's made to this town. Okay. Do we have any unfinished business to come before the board? There be no unfinished business. Under new business, we have the second reading of ordinance number 579. This is an ordinance authorizing the award of items to certain retiring police officers and firefighters after 25 years of service to Rocky Top, Tennessee. Any discussion on this second reading of this ordinance? There be no discussion in regards to ordinance number 579. Do I have a motion to approve the second reading of this ordinance?
Motion to approve.
Okay. Mr. Green's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Ms. Phillips made a second. Ms. Doherty, call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Templin.
Aye. Motion carried. Now I have the first reading of ordinance number 580, an ordinance to amend the Rocky Top Municipal Code, Title 14, Zoning and Land Use Control, Chapter 1, Municipal Planning Commission. This is changing Section 1, Title 14, Section 14, TAC 104 fees, an application for appearing before the Rocky Top Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals shall be accompanied by a fee of $50 for rezoning, variances, site plan review, etc., and $40 for subdivision plus $20 per lot. See Apex A for application. This ordinance shall take effect immediately upon approval at the second reading. Do I have any discussion in regards to ordinance number 580?
Did we just, what exactly got amended?
Price,
Just the
Cost.
Okay. I couldn't remember what
And
it was
it-
before.
I know one was
Something.
35,
Yeah.
they raised it
Yeah.
to 50.
Yeah, one was 35 and one was 40, and we're raising it to 40 and 50. Any further discussion in regards to ordinance 580? Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 580 on the first reading?
Motion approved.
Okay. Mr. Green's made a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Bunch made the second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum.
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Timplin.
Aye. Okay, we have first reading of ordinance number 581, an ordinance to amend section 15, TAC 801/13 of the City of Rocky Top, Tennessee Municipal Code, Title 15, Chapter 8, entitled Roadblocks, Parades, Foot or Bicycle Race Assemblies or Other Events. The change that was made to this, because we had one reading, then there was some discussion in regards to organizations, 501c3 organizations. What was the original?
It was 501c3, and then we changed it to just 501c.
And
Then we
realized
found
opened a
out
can
how
of
many
worms.
501cs there was.
Right, yeah. Just with 501c, we were opening up a huge can of worms. So we went back to 501c3 nonprofit organizations. So any organization having a roadblock or requesting a roadblock in town would have to be chartered under 501, they would have to have 501c3 status. And I'm not gonna go through this whole thing, but we read it on the first meeting, but it establishes requirements for having roadblocks and how we're gonna conduct the roadblocks in regards to people wearing safety gear. Only a certain number of people, you can't have kids out there in the road and things like that. Do I have any questions or discussions in regards to ordinance number 581? There'll be no question or discussion. Do I have a motion on the first reading of ordinance number 581?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Councilman Bunch made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Gillum, second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum.
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Timplin.
Aye. Motion carried. Okay. And this next is in regards to the
Grants.
grants,
Grants.
naming Mr. Ellis as the coordinator.
For Title VI. Title VI
And
court.
that's can you expound on that a little bit, so people understand what we're talking about here?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's, what is Title VI? Discrimination
Right, okay,
and,
right,
and all,
right, because we passed the ordinance in regards to that
yes,
2 or 3 months ago.
yes.
We had to have this ordinance in place because of our grants. So you will be the
Coordinator.
name coordinator. So, do I have a motion to name our city manager, Mike Ellis, as our Title VI coordinator for the city of Rocky Top?
I'll make the motion, sir.
Okay. Councilman Gillum's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Councilman Bunch is seconded. Will you call the roll, please?
Gillum.
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Green.
Aye.
Phillips.
Aye.
Timplin.
Aye. Next order of business, health insurance renewal, United Healthcare, Delta Dental. What will be changing here?
12%.
Going up
Increase.
12%? And you've checked around and this is pretty much,
We got three, yeah.
I think-
They did the state, they did United Healthcare, and then we called the state to see what their state rate was. And this is,
all in the same.
yeah, well, the state was 464,000. And then Blue Cross Blue Shield, they got a price from that, and it went up from anywhere from 20 to 45%. So, and we compared all of United Healthcare, and really the one that's 12% increase is probably the best bet. Because the other ones is, the deductible's higher and things, so.
So across the board, what is this increase gonna cost us annually?
You can see it right there. $378,000 a year.
Okay.
Additional?
No,
No,
no, that's what it will cost us.
We're going from 337 to 370.
It's $31,000 a month.
41,000 extra. Is that right? Roughly?
$3,000 from what we're paying now. Look at the first column where it says renewal.
Yeah,
If you see, right now, monthly premium is 28,000.
right.
So the renew is 31,000. So we're gonna be paying, so, yeah, you were saying yearly,
the
yes,
year,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Actually, that's,
It goes up almost this much every year anyway,
yeah,
on average.
consistently, yeah. That's really not, I hate to choke, that's a lot of money every year, but it's not as bad as it could be. And, you know, I hear some griping about the insurance, for the
Oh,
most part, they gripe about the insurance at the plant too, and they're paying $24,000 a year
yeah.
per employee down there. I'm glad that we're one of the few communities that are able to pay our employees health insurance without making them cough up X amount of dollars. And I think that that's a benefit that we should do everything we can to maintain. We can't pay them $30 an hour, but we can have decent benefits.
She asked if this was just for the council, or, I mean, for just the city employees and the
Let's sit,
council.
no, council, we're not, no, we're not,
I think so, just.
no, we're not like county commission or any of those, no. We have to pay for
And
our
then
insurance.
dental has went up 3.75%.
Not bad, less than inflation. It's a little bit less than inflation, so. So do we need to vote on this?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the renewal of our health insurance through United Healthcare and Delta Dental? That's with the Tate Insurance Group.
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Councilman Bunch made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Phillips made the second. Call the roll, please.
Gillum.
Aye.
Bunch.
Aye.
Green. Phillips.
Aye.
Timplin.
All right. Next order of business, football scoreboard.
I'll keep it short. We had a lengthy discussion in the Recreation Committee. We went over a few options. And what Recreation Committee is recommending we voted to recommend it to the council is that long story short, we're basically gonna partner with the middle school, or I guess you would say Anderson County School System. But the middle school directly, and we're gonna fundraise So what they're asking us for and what Recreation Committee is asking is that we find a way to approve at minimum, well, we'll say $5,000, scratch the at minimum, but to approve $5,000 to go towards the scoreboard and the rest of the money to get the scoreboard installed and purchased, will be done through fundraising with the school. Brendan Duncan, he's going to be the man in charge of all the fundraising. So
And that is for a brand new scoreboard.
that is a brand new scoreboard. I guess if we could find a used one, I don't think they're there, but it'd be nice.
If I'm not mistaken, the scoreboard that's up there now was there when I played high school football in 1970.
No,
Late
no, it was replaced in the late 70s or early 80s.
No, we're not looking to repair, we're
It's
looking
ancient,
to
yeah.
replace.
Yes,
How
ma'am?
much is the scoreboard?
They can be as cheap as like 3,000 or as much as 300,000. We're
Yeah.
probably shooting for about 20,000.
15 to 20,000.
And then it could be, another 5 or
I
so
just
to
come
get
in on
it
the tail
installed.
end of that earlier and heard
Yeah.
20 and thought that's what I heard.
Yeah, it could be that. I don't know exactly what it's gonna cost at the end, but from the city's perspective, what it's gonna cost the city is 5,000. So, the Recreation Committee is asking for $5,000 to go towards the purchase of a new scoreboard.
I mentioned this last month, because Linda and I went to every middle school game this year, and we saw scoreboard at all the other schools. And I firmly believe we need one, whatever we can do to make that happen for our middle school team. Now, that's just my personal opinion, but I say we
I agree.
come up with the money some way, somehow.
Yeah, not just Little League, city, everything. City
For,
ordinance,
for everybody. I didn't just mean to single out the middle school, but for everybody who uses that football field.
So is this something we need to bring back up next month, or?
No, I don't know if we would have to, the only way I would see it have to be brought back up is if we had to amend the budget and then have a special call.
I mean, well, next month, we will probably be amending the budget.
So if we went ahead and voted on it now,
Yeah,
that could be morphed into the
Yeah.
amendment next month. Okay, do I have a motion?
Well, I do want to ask is, I know that Rec asked for 5,000, is that the least amount that we want to put in, or do we want to put in more?
I think tentatively right now, we stick with $5,000. If things change in the future, if it looks like we may need some more, then we come back to the board at that time. And yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you, have you gotten bids on this already, or?
No.
Oh, they have no idea exactly what it's gonna cost
No,
yet.
it's,
Well, I mean, we appropriate $5,000. We're not gonna spend a penny until this all goes through the process.
So then after you get the.
Yeah. What we're doing now is earmarking $5,000 for this.
So if you get the proposals and it's more than you thought it was gonna be,
Then that would, it would have to come,
Fundraising.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
part's gonna be the fundraising. Yeah,
and hopefully there's some generous business folks out there
Yeah.
that willing to, maybe a lawyer that wants to do something with it.
Which that's always possible.
That's always possible, yes, it is.
And with this motion, we're talking about buying the scoreboard, not going through the contract, correct?
Yeah.
yeah, now, okay, so that was something that was brought up in the Rec Committee, is that the school, Brandon came to me with the idea that he's found basically a company that will fundraise and go fundraise all the money for the school board, and then we would have to come up for the money to install it. But that puts the school in a contract for 10 years. And also, that company will not be affiliated with a government or a city for us. So it seemed like, without trying to breach contracts or get anybody in trouble, this was the best option. to do all the fundraising on our own.
Some of these fundraising organizations, it can get really,
Yeah.
they're hinky, that's, yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
that's
some
a
of them
good
get 80% and the schools will get 20, if that much.
idea. Yeah. Yeah, they make a good living doing that,
Exactly.
so, yeah, we don't wanna get involved in that.
So I guess we need to do a motion.
So motion to earmark $5,000 from the recreation budget, for the purchase of a new scoreboard, with the provisions that additional funding will come from Anderson County Schools and any fundraising efforts. That sound good?
And possibly county commission.
Okay.
County commission, we're in talks with them also.
Okay. We'll just say Anderson County government. Well, that covers it all there. Yeah. Additional funding from Anderson County government and fundraising efforts. There be no further discussion. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Mr. Bunch has made a motion. Mr. Gillum seconded. Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Timplin.
Aye. Okay, November sewer adjustments, $81. That's, I don't think, in the year I've sat on the board, that's been the lowest. Had a gentleman had a leak over on Cooper Drive. Any discussion in regards to sewer adjustments? There be no discussion, do I have a motion to approve the sewer adjustments in the amount of $81?
I make the motion, sir.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Gillum,
Aye.
Bunch,
Aye.
Green,
Aye.
Phillips,
Aye.
Timplin.
Aye. Monthly water loss, 20.757%. That's also a very good number. We've been hovering around the 30 mark, high 20s, 30 mark for the last few months. Hopefully we can maintain that. Okay, committee reports. Wanna go ahead and do recreation?
Recreation scoreboard today.
Okay, is that pretty good with that?
I guess there's nothing new,
Okay.
unless you wanna, think parades, or December 1st, right?
That's right, parade, and we have tree lighting.
Tree lighting the 30th.
Yeah, tree lighting the 30th at 6:30.
Now that I don't know, I didn't see the time. I know the parade is at 7, I believe.
6.
Lights look very nice in town.
They've been working for the last several days on that. They do, they look good. I saw them when I was going to work this morning.
My favorite.
And don't forget to announce the Veterans Breakfast.
I got it.
Saturday at Main Street.
I got it.
Okay, got that? Okay. Have you found the,
On my calendar, it says 6:30, but I don't know.
Yeah, 6:30.
6:30.
6:30? Okay. Tree lighting at 6:30 on the 30th.
30th.
And then the parade is the 1st
At 7.
at 7. Yes. Okay. Water loss report. Yes, you're going back to July, we were 35%. August, 26.5. September, 30.5. October, 20. It's trending in a good direction. That's great. Trending in a good direction. So we need to maintain that. Okay, police department report. You want to give that, or you want?
Yes, sir, I can. if you would
Okay.
like. So for the month of October, our arrests were 30, our number of traffic stops were 89, our number of citations were 22, incident reports were 62. Total calls for service for our officers was 354. We responded with fire department and EMS on 2 overdoses with no deaths. For personnel, we've been interviewing people, both certified and non-certified. We did get awarded the grant from Toledo that reimburses for sending non-certified officers to the academy, reimburses the city for the cost of that, as well as a retention bonus to those employees over the course of 3 years. We had interviewed 4 non-certified, and we may take advantage of filling one of our positions with one of those hires. We still have Anderson County and Campbell County for that small portion of the city. They are covering us from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. pending our manpower situation being resolved. Spoke with the chief deputy this last week, and they've not had any issues with it. We've had a few calls where county has had to respond for our citizens during that time, but not very frequently. And anything that is of any significance, one of the Rocky Top officers will pick up either in the middle of the night if it's an emergent situation, or the next day. For our grant-
Can I elaborate on that? Is the fire that was over here, what is that, Hill Street? Railroad tracks that we had?
At the bottom of Hill Street.
There was 3 county officers that was there on that scene that morning. So I just wanted to let everybody know that they are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there is no gap in response. It just may be a county deputy to begin with. Yes, sir. Thank you. For grants, we've got the Violent Crime Intervention Funding Grant. We've made purchases and received digital radios, or sidearms and rifles, and firearms accessories, and submitted for reimbursement on those items. The OJP Bulletproof Vest Grant, we've ordered 2 vests off of that and are waiting their delivery. That's a 50/50 grant. The recruitment and retention grant, which I spoke of earlier, for sending someone to the academy, that's over the course of 5 years, and I believe it's $40,000 each year. And we're approved but waitlisted on the property conservation grant for improving our equipment inventory storage and creating a vehicle storage area. So that means that there were other applicants that were approved as well in front of us, and we got to wait in case one of those falls through. Internal procedures, we created a position with wages part-time for an evidence clerk to help us to modernize and streamline our evidence processes in the police department, help us to be more effective at our evidence inventory management. We worked with AT&T to get work cell phones for all of the Rocky Top officers with no additional cost to the city. For training, we're working on the general department instructor for the police department, and I'm going to fill that role until I have a staff member that can do that. The budget so far, we're a third of the way through our budget cycle, and our expenditures are roughly 34%. We've got some line items that are higher, but overall, we're just slightly above where we should be.
Okay.
And we got the new police cars?
We received one of them. I'm sorry, I missed over that. We received one of them. The other one, we're expecting it in 2 to 3 weeks. Our expenditures on that first one it was $18,000 for the purchase, and I think we're going to end up with maybe another $1,000 for equipment and the markings of the graphics on it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And then the other one, we should get it in about 2 weeks, and expenditures on it a little bit more, but we still should be well within what we discussed last month.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Fire Department report, 20 EMS calls, 1 authorized burn permit issued, 2 lift assist, 3 MVAs, 1 service call, 2 mutual aid calls, 2 brush and grass fires, 2 overdose, 34 calls for the month, total of 497 calls for the year. And I'll call out both police and fire department for their efforts during the brush fires here on the ridge. We were supporting that. We don't have Chief Braden in here, but we had folks go out on mutual aid to Briceville and all around, helping the other agencies, because everybody's been in kind of the same boat for the last couple of weeks.
We were there all day Sunday working it. Up on Scott Brogan.
Right. Yes. So, done a great job.
Can I add to that, Mayor? Also, the citizens and the businesses really reached out, and they donated water and so much other stuff, and I just want to express appreciation. It wasn't mainly a police department matter, it was mainly a fire department, but just the members of the community and the business people, they really stepped up to help their responders.
They sure did, and we appreciate it. Public Works report, garbage pickup, nearly 36 tons, which is down about 4 tons, because we were scratching 40 for the last few months. Brush, 5.5 tons. Finished the drain tile repair over on Vivian and Golda. Anybody seen that? That was a major ordeal over there. Asphalt on Third Street, Church, and several others, 4 tons of coal patch. He didn't have how much hot mix. We had at least 16 tons of hot mix they put down all over town. Cleaned up homeless camp on the Sharp property over here behind the ball field. And then under the 4th Street Bridge, got the signs installed for Anderson County Tourism. They also installed city limit signs. I think have we got every avenue into town yet?
We're four short.
4 short. Joey was asking me, how many ways is there into this town?
He did text me back and told me that.
Good. Yes, call out Anderson County Highway Department, doing an awesome job supporting us on manufacturing these signs for us. Doing a great job there. They serviced all trucks and equipment as needed. Water and Sewer Department. I'm not going to go over everything here, but they have been very busy the last month, very busy. Had a major sewer problem on 116 outside of the city limits going north. CUB had installed a guy wire anchor and ran it through the sewer line. We'd had a problem there, what, a week and a half prior?
Yeah.
And they jetted it out, and we just thought it was garbage in the sewer line. They jetted it out and got it cleared. It was overflowing out of a manhole. And then went back again a week ago Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, a week ago Friday, and it was rolling out of, and we had to report that to the state. It was rolling out of that manhole into the ditch. So we had a sewer overflow, and they've got it pumped down and dug it up, and that's where they found the guy wire anchor had been driven through that 8-inch sewer line. They worked from 2 o'clock Friday till 4 o'clock Saturday morning getting that fixed. That was nasty. It was horrible.
And our city manager was there the whole time too.
But those guys are water department, water and sewer and street department supported. They did a great job. Fire and police also were supporting. Cody was up there all night. It's a crappy job. But they've got it fixed. They really went above and beyond on that.
Who funded, or I guess who would CUB
Well, there's
take care of costs?
going back and forth
Okay.
on that. The major cost there, Bubba Dump had to continually run back and forth, sucking that manhole down, which is probably, what, a 13, 14-foot deep manhole that would fill up in 30 or 45 minutes. It's, everybody in Campbell County, north of there, I guess probably decided to use the toilet and take a shower as soon as they started working on it. So they had to continually pump that out and dump it in the manhole below that. So our cost for them was what, better than,
2,700.
yeah, nearly $3,000 on that. Water department, did some work over here at the ball field behind the, lean-to sheds, the old Lions Club shed there. There's always been a water problem back there. When we get a heavy rain, water would stand for days. They put a drain line that runs all the way to the creek now to keep that, to dry that up and eliminate that mess. What else we got? I also call out on that sewer job, we were short of gravel. Anderson County Water Authority opened their gates and said, get what you need. So And they may have, did we get any parts from them on
Nope.
that? We got
Just gravel.
just gravel. We've got gravel, so, call out to Anderson County Water Authority, we really appreciate. They're good with us, we trade back and forth. We've got parts that, they don't have, we've loaned them parts and vice versa, so we've got a real good working relationship with them, and that's good for the city. They treated 8,962,000 gallons of wastewater for the month of October. They are currently doing a sludge press pilot study. You want to speak on that, Jacob?
Sewer plant has been working with the city to come up with a new way to dewater these wastewater sludge. So I'm with Cannon and Cannon, we are working with the city. We decided to pilot multiple units to figure out which would be the best and most efficient dewatering process for the city. And we had one of the equipment manufacturers here this week to dewater, test it out. To give reference, the current dewatering press they have roughly obtains, let's say, 10 to 12% dewatered cake. The press we piloted today or this week was obtaining 22 to 25. What that correlates to is cheaper landfill tipping cost.
And a little background, the press we have was purchased somewhere, do you remember when they got that, Gene? Around, we've had it at least 20 years.
I know my dad worked on it.
Yes, yeah,
So-
he sure did.
Freddie Hatmaker.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, prior to this press, they had what we call drying beds. They would, pipe the sludge over into these drying beds, and you depended on the weather. And it never did get really, it never was completely dry. The press did a much better job, the belt press that, but it has more than reached its life expectancy. It's also a very dangerous device. It's belt driven. They have to constantly tweak and monkey around with it to keep it going with that moving belt. It scares me to death. Somebody's gonna lose an arm in there. The system that they piloted this week is a screw auger type, very small, not much bigger than that desk. And it does a great job. I mean, what are you down to percentage wise, water retained?
22.
20, I mean, you squeeze it in your hand and your hand barely gets wet. It's so dry. It's just like dirt, really, that's coming out of there. But in the future, we're going to have to probably invest in a new sludge type drying system. I also want to go to Oliver Springs and look at their process.
Same equipment.
Is it the same type? Okay, okay. Well, then I don't need to go to Oliver Springs. Okay. Do I have anything else to come before the board? Yes, sir.
Jacob had called earlier today and said that SFR has approved the documents, their part. That is everybody. So their paperwork should be in next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
And so when that happens, then we're ready to advertise for the sewer project.
So conceivably, this will go out to bid next month.
We should be able to advertise.
Advertise
next
for
week.
bid
Or
next week.
let's say right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because it'll be Wednesday when we get the letter, so we'll put the documents together and send it to the newspaper and advertise shortly after.
Great, great.
And then I'd like to introduce our new employee, Jessica. She will be helping Amanda and Rhonda up front. She came on board 2 weeks ago. And then Saturday at Main Street Church is Veterans Breakfast. Starts at 8. And we start eating at 8:30.
Yes, sir. And I've got some good door prizes, so y'all need to come.
Okay, that's it. There be nothing else to come before the board. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, folks.
Go to the ball game. Go to the ball game. So you go sit through the ball game.